Hello burritos and welcome back to my channel. It's your favorite girl, Sophie. Welcome to Exposing My Toxic Korean Ex-Boyfriend Part 2. There was so much love in Part 1 which I did not expect, so thank you so much for that. I genuinely did not expect that. For those of you who left a lot of encouraging comments in the comment section below, I just wanted to let y'all know that I've told the story like way too many times, so I'm practically numb to it and I've also healed from it, so I'm okay. But thank you. A lot of y'all requested a part 2, so here it is. But right before we start, I want to thank today's sponsor, TryTreats. So basically, TryTreats is a subscription snack box that you can grab every month that has a theme country. If you open the box up, today's theme is Japan. For today's story time, I'm going to be trying these snacks throughout the video, but first we're going to check what's inside the box. It comes with a table of contents for the snacks in the box, which is great. It has a whole explanation of every single snack in the box. I personally love Japanese snacks, so I'm really excited to try these. It also comes with a picture of Japan and some information about it on the back as well, which I think is really cool. There's also a fun little card inside with Japan facts, and if you look on the back, there's a recipe on how to make sushi rolls. Isn't that so cute? Now, for the snacks, we have some corn chips first up. We have a Slinky grape gummy jelly. I think this is red bean chocolate. Some chocolate dipped crackers in a cup. Some cheese crackers. We also got this cute, huge ass marshmallow. We also got some chestnut manjus. We have some soda flavored candy. And I believe this is a panda shaped cookie. If you would like to get a box of your own, I have a discount code and a link in my description box below. Otherwise, let's get straight to the story time. Alright, so a lot of y'all were really curious on how I broke up with him. Unfortunately, the breakup story actually isn't that entertaining. I just got sick of his shit and broke up with him. That's the story. But I have two very, very exciting stories for you today, so please stay tuned. Starting off with these cheese crackers. Cheers. Not salty, very nice. Okay, so like I said, the breakup actually wasn't really that entertaining. But after we broke up, this guy ended up getting a new girlfriend. Now let me give you some context. Near the end of our relationship, we had to keep our relationship secret because both of our parents hated us dating. Like my parents hated him and his parents hated me. Like absolutely hated the shit out of both of us. If I got caught dating him, my dad was gonna disown me. That's how bad it was, for valid reasons. If you haven't watched part 1, go watch part 1 if you don't know what I'm talking about. And so by the time we broke up, other than our close friends, no one knew we were dating. But here's the thing, when this guy got a new girlfriend, the date that he broke up with me and the date that he got a girlfriend were overlapping. So what does that mean? That means he fucking cheated on my ass. Not really a surprise because this motherfucker's cheated on me so many times before. But was I still pissed about it? Fuck yeah. So as any other girl would do, I go back into full FBI mode and I start tracking this motherfucker's ass down and start doing some back research. And obviously when your ex gets a new girl, what's the first thing you do, girls? You go and check how ugly this bitch is. Cause there's no way that this bitch is hotter than me. There's no way that this fucker pulled the bitch hotter than me. No way. When I say that, I'm saying that in 16-year-old Sophie context, so don't take it too seriously. Off topic for a sec, but I also find it really funny when girls get mad at the other girl for their man cheating. Like, do y'all understand how dumb y'all look? When your man cheated on you, but you're getting mad at the other girl. You're just making yourself look fucking dumb. Unless the other girl knew that you existed in the first place, but still decided to do whatever the fuck with him anyway, that's a different story. But if she didn't know, you're just making yourself look dumb, bitch. Like, anyways, back to the story. So like I said, I checked out our Instagram story, and if you know Instagram, once you check someone's story, people can see who checked their story, and obviously my name was on it, so she knew that I was lurking. So after she saw that I was lurking on her profile, I think she got pissed. She probably thought I was this jealous bitch, which I was, who also wanted her man back, which was also true at the time. So back in my day when I was 16, right? I guess now you would call it cancel culture. Social media was like the hot place to cancel people the fuck out. And this bitch tried to cancel me out. So she goes on her Instagram story and posts something along the lines of, "Get away from my man," or something like that. Obviously it was directed towards me. And I was like, okay bitch, it's war. You messed with the wrong bitch. I have a bunch of story archive receipts here that I'm purposely not going to put on YouTube because it's really, really fucking embarrassing. But I'm gonna explain it to y'all as best as I can. So I'm sorry. Okay, sorry, I forgot to exactly mention what she wrote on her story. This is all in Korean, so I'm gonna try and translate it as best as possible. So basically she posted photos of my ex and then she wrote like a caption on the photo. And the caption basically says, I'm gonna call my ex A here. A, I love you, heart, heart. Opar is mine, so stop lurking and just fuck off. And then the second story says, oh my god, it's so fucking cringy. Stop staring at my man, you're fucking delusional. This man is mine, not yours. And then the third story says, are you still looking? Just fuck off. And then the fourth story says, yeah, you. The one that keeps looking at my stories. Don't be confused, is it me? Because it is you. And then on the fifth story, it just says you, like in just like one big caption, you. That one pissed me off. And keep in mind, when I was 16, I was a very jealous, compulsive, like toxic. I had a lot of problems when I was 16 back in the day dating this stupid motherfucker. I think if I were to see these stories now, I probably would have just laughed and walked away because bitch ain't got nothing on me. But yeah, simply enough to say, I was pretty pissed. So what did I do? I screenshotted all of her stories one by one. And then I reposted them on my story also one by one, mocking her with each caption and each slide, something along the lines of, yeah dude, I lurked on your story a couple times. That's what happens when we break up, right? I'm gonna call his new girlfriend B, okay? Yeah, B, I lurked on your profile a couple times because I was curious. And then here comes the screenshots. But if you're gonna be like this, then I'm pretty fucking dumbfounded. Before you start coming on to me, LMFAO, y'all should. Y'all should. And when I said y'all should, the photo with that caption was a screenshot of their names listed in my story views. So they were basically giving me shit for lurking on their profile when they were doing the exact same thing. So I was like, what the fuck? And then on the last slide, I was like, you should do better. See, this is the warm-up, okay? It just progressively like keeps getting worse. When I tell y'all it keeps getting worse, this is what I mean. As I mentioned in part 1, my ex does come from a very wealthy family, so he would shower me with gifts all the time. And some of the gifts that he got me when we were dating that are relevant in this story was a Chanel lipstick and an earring set from Pandora. Now, like I said, I went full FBI mode. I was stalking the shit out of these two motherfuckers. And what I found out was bizarre. This psycho ass cunt had the audacity to get his new girl the exact same presents that he got me. And I'm not talking about a similar present, I'm talking about the exact same one, the exact same model, the exact same color, the exact same number on the lipstick. Exactly the same. And so when I found this out, I was going fucking shit bonkers. In my head, I was like, there's no way this bitch knows that he got her the same presents. No way. By the way, these are just all screenshots of either my face or like evidence screenshots, okay? So the next slide, I was like, oh yeah, and you're digging your own grave, sweetie. You know why? And then I post a picture of her earrings that she posted on Facebook. And the caption's like, you like your present? And then the next slide is the lipstick. And I'm like, yeah, I'm sure you love your present. And then the next slide is literally me wearing the same earrings that he got her and being like, oh honey, I'm so sorry if I hurt your feelings. And then the next slide is literally me holding the lipstick and captioning it, A, thank you for the lipstick. I'm still using it, thank you very much. And then the next slide is a photo of the earrings and the lipstick. You should know what the fuck you're talking about. And then the next couple slides are just literally me mocking this bitch. I just made her look fucking dumb. If I think about it now, it was so immature, but like, I just think it's so funny. And like I said before, I usually don't hate on the girl, but this bitch was fucking pushing my buttons. This bitch was literally asking for it. If she didn't say anything, none of this would have went down. But no, she decided to be a fucking immature little shit. And then the next Instagram slide was a picture of me going like this and like, call me. I could never do this now. 16-year-old Sophie was so full of drama, I could never now. By the way, don't take the story too seriously because it's just supposed to be funny, okay? And then the next slide is a photo from my ex's feed. with his new girlfriend with like their couple rings or whatever. But the watch that he's wearing in the photo is from his ex-girlfriend. So basically the girl that he was dating before me, the one that he cheated on. And so I take the screenshot and I circle his watch and I caption it. Yeah, and just to let you know, this watch is from his ex-girlfriend. So I'll just put that out there. So basically I pissed her off and I pissed my ex off. So my ex was blowing up my phone. He was calling me, he was DMing me, he was texting me. And I remember this one specific DM that I don't have a screenshot of right now, but I distinctly remember it literally said word for word, "Did you go crazy after you cut your hair?" Because after I broke up with this guy, I was so traumatized and didn't want to date a guy ever again. So I cut my hair like a K-pop star, like a guy, like literally a guy. My sides were like shaved off, like just a literal boy. People thought I was a raging lesbian. Okay, let me see if I can show you a photo of it. Okay, this is the call me photo. Hey, I look pretty hot though, right? Yeah. You know what? I could probably pass off as a K-pop star. Probably not gonna cut my hair again though, not gonna lie. So that's part one of the whole Instagram beef for now. This beef probably went on for the next like week or like 2 weeks or so. And in that 2-week time period, a lot of things happened. What else happened? I don't know if you guys remember, but also back in my day, Ask FM was a really big thing. It was just like the hot topic for like gossip. If you don't know what Ask FM is, it's like an anonymous question app or something. So if I have a profile, other people can anonymously just leave me questions or a confession or something like that. It's just an app dedicated to anonymous shit. And so what do? I make an Ask FM account. And I remember this one girl sent me this one confession on Ask FM, and it was basically just like a huge paragraph of just calling him out on like how huge of a piece of shit he is, like how he has anger issues. And other than that, it was just a whole long message of saying like, hey Sophie, you can do so much better, like fuck that guy, like move on, right? And I was like, oh my god, that's such a great message. So what did my dumbass do? I screenshotted it and then I put it on my story and I tagged my ex. I fucking tagged my ex. Fucking dumbass. Wait, can I find that screenshot? Oh, no way. If I find this screenshot, I'm literally going to shoot myself. Oh my god, I found it. Holy shit, it's just... I'll read the important parts out to you. Something along the lines of, hey Sophie, I'm not super close with you, but I know about you and your ex, you know, just from by ear. Your ex is a man whore. Just a straight up man whore. I regret the fact that we were friends. I don't know how you feel right now. I feel really bad for you. He only talks to people in his favor or his advantage. He asks his friends to go lurk on your profile so you don't know he's lurking on your profile. And then this bitch starts targeting his new girlfriend. And she says, I think it's so funny that she's shielding the shit out of him, especially when they break up. She's gonna talk shit about him too. And then she calls on my ex and she's like, hey, you're a piece of garbage. Never come out of your house and stop being a compulsive liar. I love you, Sophie. And I was like, what the fuck? That story post was probably a really bad decision because I basically started a fire that I literally could not put out. This was a whole ass forest fire by now. And so basically what happened is that my ex was now ultra mega pissed. So he texts me and he's like, if you hate me that much, then let's go beef outside. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. So we decide to meet in this parking lot in front of a cafe. And this man was such a pussy ass bitch that he had to bring his friend. Now, plot twist here. That friend he brought also used to be my friend. This traitor ass cunt. And so basically we're talking about the whole situation and he's asking me, oh, like take down all your posts and shit. And I'm like, fuck no. And as always, because he has fucking anger issues like I mentioned in part 1. And not to mention this was in public too, by the way. He puts me up against a car and grabs me by the collar and he's like putting me up against a car and like threatening to hit me. And it was even more fucked because there were so many people that passed by. And no one helped. No one said anything. No one tried to help. And especially that friend, he didn't say jack shit, he was just laughing. He didn't say anything. Fast forward, the fight keeps getting worse. And at one point, he threatens to hit me again. So I'm like, fucking do it. Hit me. Do it, pussy. And so this bitch actually does it. He basically just pushed me really fucking hard. The thing is, when I fell back, I literally just it was really hard. I was like, right? So when I fell down, I literally fell straight on my ass. And when I fell straight on my ass, I hit my tailbone straight on the concrete. So my hip was a little bit out of line for the next couple months or so. It was not great. My elbows were bruised. My tailbone area was obviously fucking bruised. And still, no one offered to help. No one said anything. Like I said, it was in front of a very popular cafe. There were more than 20 cars in the whole parking lot and no one said anything. I think that's fucked. You know how I told you guys before in one of my other videos that I literally cannot tolerate disrespect towards women, especially sexual disrespect. This is probably one of the reasons why I cannot tolerate disrespect to people in general. I still find it very fucked to this day that people did not offer to help. I was probably only like 17. Like 16, 17. If I saw a 16 or 17-year-old getting pushed by a fucking boy, I would have beat the shit out of that boy, dude. I don't give a fuck. I would. As much as it's not the smartest idea to get involved in other people's fights, when something like that happens, I feel like somebody should step in. So this is the point where I'm like, okay, fuck, I need some help. So I call up some of my friends and I'm like, hey, my ex is being fucking abusive again. Can you come and help me? And a lot of my friends came to help because we wanted to literally beat the shit out of this guy. But again, this pussy ass cunt ran away before my friends got here. Like, are you processing this through your mind? Like, just think about it. Just process that in your mind. A guy just pushed a girl and just fucking ran away. What the fuck? Like, if you're gonna pick beef, then at least don't be a pussy ass bitch about it. The biggest trait of the narcissist is the fact that they're strong to the weak and weak to the strong. It's a golden rule. In other words, a pussy ass bitch. That is the first story of today. Now, second story. Fast forward to 5 years later. Yeah, 5 years later. I'm gonna start with the context first. I had a very close friend who was in need of help at the time. So he was staying at my place for about a day or two. And this is back when I had a car, so I offered him to give him a ride to wherever he needed to go. And all of a sudden he's like, hey, I need to go see a friend. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll drop you off. I'm like, who are you seeing though? And he's like, I'm seeing, I'm like, what is it? Just tell me who you're, like, if you don't want to tell me, that's fine, but like, why are you acting so fucking sus about it? And he's like, actually, like, I'm seeing your ex. And I'm like, which one? Like, no, but really, like, which one? And he's like, yeah, I'm seeing A. And I was like, you know A? And he's like, yeah, we're actually really close. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to be friends with you anymore. And so fast forward, I agreed to drop him off. And in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, I might have to fucking talk to this guy. This guy has traumatized me for like, I don't know how long. What am I gonna say to him? Like, what is my face gonna look like? What's gonna be the setting? Like, I was shitting bricks, dude. And so we basically end up pulling up to this parking lot and I see my ex and I'm like, holy fuck. I'm like, that's the dude. And so as I'm about to drive off, my friend's like, hey, do you wanna come out and have a cigarette with us? Like, shit. And so I'm like, I guess. Like, honestly, I should have just left. But I was also honestly just really curious about how this dude has been. And like, think about it. It's been like 5 years, right? I'm not as traumatized anymore. Like, this dude doesn't mean anything to me. So just out of curiosity, I agreed to get out of the car and have a cigarette, right? And yes, I smoke. I'm 22. I'm legal. And I have some good news. I remember this one comment in part 1 asking if he got any karma. And yeah, he got fat karma. Like, fat karma. First time seeing him in like 5-6 years. When I was dating him, he was kind of chubby. Like, he wasn't like fat, like morbidly obese or anything like that, but he definitely had something on him, you know what I mean? But that day, his cheeks were like hollowed out. Like, you know, like people who do like drugs, like hollowed the fuck out. But I'm not just talking about like someone who lost weight. I'm talking about like karma lose weight. Like, the devil sucked the shit out of this guy or something. Like, he looked sick, dude. He looked like he was going through some shit. Like, he just lost so much weight and it was so nuts because it was like, his head was just floating. Like, his body and his head were like separate. When people lose so much weight, like, their head just starts floating, you know? And the thing is, I've heard about him over the years and I've caught glimpses of him at like clubs. Cause I remember at one point for a long time, I know this guy was hitting the club every single weekend, dropping like 10 grand a week. Like, he was just Like every time I went to the club, he would be at a table, but I never physically got to talk to him. Like I just saw him from a distance and that was it. And so now I'm looking at his face after 5 years and I don't know what to say. So again, back to the story, we end up having a conversation basically like any other normal conversation, and we're saying things like, yeah, hey, how you been? Like, yeah, I've been good. Like, what have you been doing over the years? And etc, etc. And after that, he's like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go, bye, I'll maybe see you next time. And my dumbass decided to ask him if he needed a fucking ride. I don't know why I said that. I was like, I feel like some part of me was kind of low-key happy to see him. I honestly don't know why. And I know I sound fucked when I say this right now, but it's just something that I honestly can't explain. It's almost like seeing an old childhood friend that you used to fight with literally all the time. I feel like if it was one of my exes now that I met later in life at a little bit of an older age, I feel like it would be a completely different story. But I went through so much shit with this guy at like 15, 16. So I don't know if y'all will ever understand, but it just felt very nostalgic at that very given moment. So I asked him if he needed a fucking ride. And he's like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, whatever, get in. And so I end up dropping him and my friend off at some like bar or whatever because they wanted to drink. And as I was dropping him off, I was like, how are you getting home? And when I said this, it just felt so weird because it was like so natural. It's been 5 years and it was just like this script was coming out of my mouth like it was coming out of my mouth 5 years ago. It was just the weirdest shit, okay? And he's like, yeah, no, it's okay, I feel bad, right? And I'm like, okay, have it your way, peace the fuck out. And so I peace out, right? Later that night, a fucking drunk calls me. And he's like, babe, where are you? Can you pick me up? I'm so fucking drunk. Like, and I'm literally on the phone like, okay. So my dumbass went to go pick him up. When I picked him up, and I tell you, he was fucking sloshed out of his mind. He was sloshed. He was gone. And so basically I was pretty fed up with the shit. I'm like, where's your house? Give me your address. I'm dropping you off your home. Peace out, right? And he's like, oh no, wait, babe. Like, I need to tell you something. Like, can you spare a couple of minutes so we can have a conversation? And honestly, in my head, when he told me he wanted to have a conversation, I thought he was gonna ask me if I wanted to smash or something. Like that was like genuinely like my first thought that passed my mind. Cause I was like, it's been 5 years. What else does this guy want? You know what I mean? And so I'm like, okay. I'll have a conversation with you. And so we drive off to this like quiet area, like secluded area, parking lot, whatever you want to call it. I park my car, take off my seatbelt, and I turn over to him and I'm like, go ahead, what do you want to say? And he basically just started bawling his eyes out, which I wasn't surprised about. I was actually quite numb to his crying even after 5 years. And he basically just started apologizing. Like, I'm not gonna get into the whole like details of the apology because a lot of it is pretty confidential. But like, you know, the fuck thing is, when he was apologizing, I thought I would feel good. Because if you think about it, I've been drawing this scenario of him apologizing to me for the past 5-6 years. Probably almost every single day because I hated his guts, right? And now I'm actually sitting here watching this man apologize to me. Genuinely. A part of me thought he was lying, but the thing is, when people apologize genuinely, you just kind of know. And I know he was apologizing genuinely, which was very surprising to me. Anyways, I'm sitting here listening to this man genuinely apologize to me, and it's just like, oh my god. I thought I would be happy, but instead of feeling happy, I felt pity for him. Like, I don't know why I felt that way, but I felt pity towards the dude. Turns out, like I said before, karma hit him very fucking hard. So this guy had a girlfriend after he broke up with me, and he dated her for about less than a year, but they were engaged. They were about to get married, and it turns out this bitch cheated on him a couple of months before the wedding. So they ended up calling the wedding off. And there was the fact that he also got involved into so many drugs that it just ruined his life at one point. That's why he lost so much weight. He had shitty friends, he had a shitty life, his parents were getting on his ass, like just everything in his life after we broke up went downhill, just straight up wrong, like ass. And like I said, I thought I would have been happy about it. Really surprisingly, I felt bad. Theoretically, I should have felt fabulous, and it should have been glorifying in some sense, but it really wasn't. I feel like the lesson that we can all take away from this is that wishing bad upon others only does bad to you. As much as you feel like someone's apology or someone's non-well-being might make you feel content, once you actually get there, I guarantee you it won't feel good. Like, it really won't. And so basically after that super heavy conversation, we were talking for about, you know, maybe I think a month or two, not that long actually. And I remember we were just chilling outside smoking a dart. And I don't know why I said this, but I do remember I said something along the lines of, I was like, yo, I just want to let you know that I don't have feelings for you and I have no interest in dating you again. And this guy out of nowhere had the audacity to say, Sophie, if we were to date now, then I would ask you to marry me. And I was like, no, absolutely the fuck not. I don't know what the fuck was going through this man's head when he asked me to marry him. Like, I don't know, man. And so basically, long story short, what happened in between that 2-month time period is that he kind of low-key, I guess, redeemed himself, or like tried to redeem himself. So I can say that he did treat me very well for the time being. And after a while, I just feel like it wasn't really right. I felt very uncomfortable, so I blocked him and we're not talking anymore. It's really complicated, man. Like, to wrap up the story time, I really would like to mention that this relationship that I mentioned in both part 1 and 2 are about the same person, and it was definitely a start of my villain arc. This is literally my 13th reason. I would once again like to put out there that toxic relationships are extremely common. So if you are going through one, please do not hesitate to reach out to the people around you for help. I know for these story times that I did lay it out in a very playful context, but I do also want you guys to know that at one point these events were also very traumatic for me at one point. But you know, time passes, we all get through it, we heal, and now I am here. That being said, I am taking toxic ex story submissions through my business email, which will be linked down in the description box below. Receipts are also welcome, so if you would like to share your own toxic ex story, please send it to my email. As always, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Otherwise, I'll see y'all later in the next video. Bye!